If anybody's on here, let me know if you can hear me fine. I've never done this before, but okay. I'm literally just, I don't know, I was bored and I felt like, you know, might as well talk. I'm excited today because out of nowhere, Joe Rogan dropped a podcast with Alex Jones, and that like got me hype. So I still haven't watched the whole thing. I've only watched a little bit of it, but um anyway, if y'all have any questions, fire them away. Need to watch that. Yeah. That's the thing. That was like one of the most anticipated like podcasts, and he just like dropped it out of nowhere. It's like, bro, you can't just do that to us. So fire away any questions or whatever you want me to talk about. I hate this stupid Madden crap. New to your channel, how long have you been a Browns fan? So, funny story. I actually started off watching football like I don't know if you could say like watching football like a lot was probably like 2012, and my uncle was a Broncos fan. So initially I watched Denver a lot, and then they won the Super Bowl like the year after. Then when Peyton Manning retired, I just stopped watching. And then so my other side of my family are Browns fans, and I just started watching the Browns with them. So ever since then, I've pretty much just been diehard Browns fan. So technically, initially, you could say I started up watching Denver, but um, what's going on, Hunter? So as far as how long I've been a Browns fan, I mean, I didn't really start paying attention till like I don't know, like when they drafted Deshaun Kaiser, because I've always been more of a college football guy, but my dad's a Browns fan, love him, also diehard Packers fan. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I don't hate the Broncos, but I'm not a Bronco fan. I mean, I'm a huge Peyton Manning fan though. I love Peyton Manning, but I was kind of like half watching the Browns, half caring, like during the Manziel times. And then like once they drafted Deshaun Kaiser, the rough times, uh, that's when I really started watching. Yeah. I love Peyton Manning. That was sad to see him. Like I knew he was going to retire. Like I remember when they were talking about that, it was like, "Oh, is he going to retire or not?" And I'm like, "Well, number one, if you're going to retire, you're going to retire off of a Super Bowl. So why why would that even be controversial?" So, like I said, if any of y'all have questions, throw them out there. I can't wait to finish that Rogan podcast. So I watched about a half an hour of it. It's like 4 hours. So I think Kaiser, if they would have just let him sit for like a year or two, I think he could have been good. But I mean, he's not a guy that's the problem with the Browns. Like everybody who wants the Browns to pick a new quarterback, like you're gonna get another Deshaun Kaiser. So because you're not gonna be able to pick somebody super high. TV 12 wins. You think, yeah, I would. If I was Tom Brady, yeah. I mean, what else are you going to do? The same thing again, win the Super Bowl? It's not like, I mean, Tom Brady's a guy. who he's very uniquely driven, I guess you could say. So, do I think he would retire? Probably not. Or, well, let me rephrase that. Do I think he would want to retire? No. But would he? Probably. Probably. Because, like, honestly, when you look at Tom Brady's career, he's done it so much with the Patriots, like with Bill. He wants to win one by himself. I think he'd be fine just saying, I got one, you know? Like, I don't think he's a guy that would have to win like 2 or 3 to prove a point. If he can do it by himself without Bill, especially because the Patriots aren't doing good this year. Let me catch up on this. I like the Bucks. I don't think they're a Super Bowl team yet. I agree. I don't think they are either, but they've kind of done what the Browns did. They just threw a bunch of guys together and hope for the best. Yeah, Brady loves the game. Ended on a good note. Yep. Just my luck. Buy an OBJ jersey and he gets hurt. I have 2 OBJ jerseys, and then I have a shirt that says Beckham Jr. Like, those shirts. So that's all right. I really don't care. He can go to another team. I'll still wear it. It never, listen, it didn't work out in Cleveland. It is what it is. He's still a superstar. So it's not that I don't like him. He's just never worked, and he never will work. As long as Baker's quarterback, he's not going to work here. And Baker's successful without OBJ. So it is what it is. But yeah, I have 2. Let's see. Technically, I have 3 Baker jerseys. 2 of them are like China jerseys. So the one's a real one. Then I have 2 OBJ and a Miles jersey. I want to get a Denzel Ward and probably a Chubb. And maybe a Landry. I'm a guy who, I love jerseys. Some people don't wear jerseys. Like, they just hate how they feel. I love jerseys. I always have. I have about 5 Ohio State jerseys. Trying to think. I don't know. I think the Browns need to embrace their running team when Chubb's on the roster. That's the thing is, it's going to be interesting to see if Baker is just balling out without Beckham, and they don't have to run the ball a lot, especially I just got sacked. Crap. Especially if he's doing it from the pocket, which I still think though. Listen, Kevin Stefanski's going to run his system, but if he has success in a different way than what they are doing right now with him, like the play action stuff, if he becomes more comfortable passing from the pocket, doing different stuff, then they're just not that they're going to abandon the system, because they won't, but they're going to start to change things up. Best running back in the league duo. Wait, what do you mean by that? Best running back in the league 1 to 3. You saying Chubb's a top 3 back? Chubb's probably, honestly, right now, I think Derrick Henry might be the best back in the league at this moment, just because he's so dominant. Couldn't agree more. The Packer, Jones, Williams, Packers. Yeah. Want to play Madden? I don't have what do you call that? Xbox Live right now. I do it month to month just because there's times where I play it and there's times where I don't. So maybe when I get it again. What's going on, Tom? Henry, Henry, dude. Henry is literally built like an old school linebacker, one of them thumpers. You know what I mean? And the dude is playing running back. That is insane. Oh, what are my top 3? Depends. Before McCaffrey got hurt, I would say McCaffrey won. But if you're saying at this exact moment, I'm probably going with Henry 1. I'll still put McCaffrey at 2. 3, honestly, 3 would probably be Chubb, because before he got hurt, Chubb was absolutely balling. And there's really, I mean, you look at the other candidates, Aaron Jones, sure. Zeke, probably not. Dalvin Cook, he's hurt too. So, top 3, yeah. I don't know though, because it's Henry, McCaffrey, Chubb, and Jones top 4. Yeah, I personally would rather have Dalvin. I'm a big fan of Dalvin Cook. I think he is a great player. But as far as like him and Aaron Jones, I think Aaron Jones this offseason got really, really focused. You know what I mean? Like they drafted AJ Dillon, and he just went straight out balling in the offseason. Chubb will be number 1 eventually. Yeah, I do think. Well, I don't know. It just depends, because Derrick Henry struggled a lot early on in his career. And then he got it together. So the thing is with Chubb is I just hope he could stay healthy, because he had a knee injury there in at Georgia too. So Cook is great. Issues health, can't stay on the field. Yeah. Yeah, but when he is on the field, he's dominant. That was kind of a last year in fantasy. Let me tell you about this. Last year in fantasy, I had already picked OBJ. And then I was coming down to, I forget where I was picking next, but it came down. I was up to either Antonio Brown or Dalvin Cook, and I went with Cook because I didn't have a running back. That was the best decision I think I have ever made. So, hope Greedy comes back. I love Greedy. I think he could be a really, really good player. But the problem with Greedy is he needs a lot of work. Like he's far from a finished product. Vikings are blowing it up anyway. They need a quarterback. Kirk's a joke. Packers are going to embarrass them at home. Oh, of course. Is that even a question? The Vikings, man, I thought the Vikings were going to be a really good team for a while. Not because Kirk Cousins was good, but because this system, the Shanahan zone run, Kubiak system, because Kubiak would be taking over now that Stefanski's gone. That system, that system makes a bad quarterback or an average quarterback look a lot better than they are. So I thought the Vikings were still going to be pretty good. Almost got sacked. But yeah, the Vikings are blowing it up. They should. The Browns. I don't know why they're not. It amazes me that they have not traded for Anthony Harris. Vikings had a good D. Their system's broken. Kirk can't be trusted. Yeah. Yeah. And then they let Everson Griffin walk. And then he went to the Cowboys, did nothing, and now he's on the Lions. So that was when that came out that he was made available, I thought he would be an option here, but that's too late now. It's like they think Sendejo's good. Oh, shoot. Andrew Sendejo might be the worst player I think I've ever seen. Maybe not the worst player, but the most frustrating player on the Browns, like that I've ever seen. Like I've never hated a Browns player more than Andrew Sendejo, honestly. What trades? Well, if I was general manager, I would like to see Justin Simmons, because I think Justin Simmons is a beast. And I think what the Pittsburgh Steelers did last year, going out and getting Minka, the impact he had, I think Simmons would come in and maybe not have that much of an impact, but he would certainly make it a lot better. The other one I would love, that would be my number one wish. My number two would be Miles Jack out of Jacksonville. He's had his health problems, whatever, but the Browns need a run or I don't know. I almost said the Browns need a running back. The Browns need linebacker help desperately. I think the reason why Mac Wilson hasn't taken a huge step forward yet is because number one, he's hurt. And then number two, last year he had Schobert to kind of not take the stress off, but it freed him. It freed him up a little bit. So I think the Browns need to go out and get a difference maker linebacker, and that would make Mac a lot better too. So Miles Jack is on it. I think he's got 3 years left at 10 mil a year, and that's what Schobert wanted was 10 a year. So Miles Jack's way better than Schobert. Why wouldn't they get that deal done? Doesn't make sense. What other trade? Anthony Harris, I said. I would like to see them add I really would like to see them add another receiver just for depth. But they can't go get a number one. They can't get a guy that Baker's going to focus on too much. A guy that a guy that I've liked for a long time that I would like to see them go get would be Golden Tate. The Giants, now, which is ironic, another Giants receiver, but Giants would give him up cheap, I think. He would be a vet that would be reliable. So, but if they do trade for another receiver, it would be one of these older vets that are reliable, like a Golden Tate, or it's going to be a speed guy that they can throw in the slot, move Landry a lot around. So Ronnie Harrison's been a stud. That's the thing. Jacksonville, you can always tell how good a player's going to be on how mad a fan base is when that player leaves their team. And I watched some Jacksonville fans' reaction to that trade, and you want to talk about pissed. They were pissed. So he's a beast. I think, honestly, long term, I think it's going to be Ronnie Harrison and then what's his name? Delpit. It's going to be Delpit and Harrison, our safeties long term, with Ward, and then hopefully Greedy. Hopefully Greedy gets back, but they certainly need to go get depth. Golden Tate, go Irish. Notre Dame. I'm sorry, but Notre Dame is not. They're not that great. Like, you can have them ranked third or whatever they are now. They're not that great. So, yeah, Browns. Here's the thing: Browns need to go out and get people. They got to get bodies in. I mean, this team. Listen, if Baker does what I think he's going to do, he's going to come out and start balling. Like, I think you're going to see rookie Baker times like 3 because he's going to have that. He's not going to have OBJ on his back, and he's got more talent this time. I mean, when he was doing what he was doing year one, he didn't have, like, I'm not saying we have great receivers right now, but you see what Peoples-Jones and Higgins are doing. And then you get Hooper and Harrison Bryant. Then you got the 2 backs. So as great as Baker was year one, I think you're going to see that, but even better. And honestly, it's going to be the best thing to happen to him because I don't think he'll get a contract. I think they'll take his 5th-year option and make him do it again, which is smart because you've seen the good, bad, and ugly of Baker, and you need to see consistency. So that's honestly, I would too, unless he would be willing to take like a pretty fair contract, which I don't know if he will, but they're not trading for a safety, so Delpit doesn't feel replaced. Well, Delpit's not going to be here for a year. So, I'm not saying, and that's another thing. Delpit should not be mad if they go out and trade for safety. His injury with that Achilles it's not like an ACL where people can just come back, and I'm not saying he won't get back fine, but it's not as for sure as if it was an ACL, I guess is what I'm saying. Baker looked amazing last week. This team's good. Yeah. Baker's a good quarterback. He is. The only problem with Baker is he's just got to do it consistently. That's the problem. Like I said, I expect to see what we see in year one from Baker going forward. Harrison lays the wood on every tackle. We always finishing. Miles Jack, CJ Mosley, Peppers. Additions. Baker looked amazing last week. Seeing a lot of safety stuff. Won't be able to we will be able to re-sign Joseph. Delpit. Need a linebacker. If we can get it, yeah. Exactly. That's why I would call up Jacksonville and I'd say, hey, Miles Jack, I think Jacksonville would give him up for a second, a two, and the Browns, that's the thing. The Steelers are a smart franchise. I mean, we can hate them all day, but where they were picking in the draft lower 20s, they weren't going to be able to get a guy with the impact of Fitzpatrick, and the Browns, those are the kind of moves that takes your franchise to the next level, So Joseph hits hard. He does hit hard, but the only problem is we need a free safety. And he's strictly a strong safety. We need, like what Delpit did at LSU, where he was just sitting back there flying across the field, ball hawk. That is what this defense needs right now. I hate him too, but sometimes you just got to give him credit, I mean, it's kind of like the Ravens. Look, they steal Patrick Queen that late. Then they get Dobbins, come in, make a big impact. They got their future running back. They got a long-term linebacker. Smart franchises. That's what the Browns got to get at. I hate the Steelers first. I can't stand the Steelers. And that's the thing. My best friend's a Steelers fan. And, I deal with his crap, but Steelers fans, they might be the worst fan base. I mean, it's Steelers and then it's Cowboys. Just annoying. Just terrible. Not all of them are bad, but most of them. I hate the Bengals the least, though. Steelers aren't an awful team. I think I get what you're saying, though. Fan base is terrible. Like, at least Ravens fans, like Engraven. I don't know if you guys know Engraven. He basically does the Ravens YouTube stuff, whatever. He pops in on Browns channels and stuff. He's awesome. I like him a lot. Now I do go back and forth with him on occasion, but Ravens fans are more understanding than Steelers fans, I would say. But I don't know. That's just my opinion. Cowboys fans are flat out idiots. That's just, And that's the thing with Cowboys fans. They have had good teams over the past few years. This team they got right now is falling apart. And it's because of Jerry Jones. Bears fans, Bears fans are they're unique because the Bears haven't been like I don't know. I've heard that the Browns are kind of like the Bears of the AFC, where you don't know if they're real or not. I don't think the Bears are real, honestly. The Bears messed up. Think about that draft. The Browns took Myles Garrett, number one, and the Bears traded up one pick to get Mitchell Trubisky. They could have fallen into um, Deshaun Watson. They could have fallen into Patrick Mahomes, but they were so confident in Mitch Trubisky, and I don't even know why. Like, I didn't think Mitch was that great coming out of college. I wouldn't say I'd be shocked if Dak comes back to the Cowboys, but I certainly wouldn't be surprised if Jerry flips him the bird and tells him to go find a new team. It's just what Jerry does. Especially if they're in a position where they can snag. I don't think they'll be able to get Fields, but if they can snag Trey Lance, you know, because they're screwed cap wise. Buckeyes defense was, that I think what's going to happen with the Buckeyes defense is because I went to the game one last year against us, not Cincinnati, FAU, and I remember walking out of that game going, are you serious? We have the same defensive problems again. And then they went on to be great. So honestly, I think that could be the same thing this year. Because Seven Banks, Hooker, those guys, they're all young. Harrison's gonna get up there, get his time. Haskell Garrett, same thing. So, as time goes on, they'll get more I don't know, comfortable with each other, I guess. When you bench your draft pick, you basically, yeah, exactly. And that's what worried me about Baker because, for a while there, not that I didn't give up on Baker, but it could have been the same situation. If he did, honestly, OBJ getting hurt, and I'm not happy he got hurt. I like OBJ. But as far as Baker's play on the field, not having OBJ there is what's probably going to save him in Cleveland. So. I'm seeing a couple tweets here. Whoa, wait a minute. Whoa, hold up. I don't know if y'all are seeing this, but one of the trustworthy people on Instagram for the Browns, Adam Thielen to Cleveland is not a done deal, but my understanding is the two teams have talked. uh, if they're taught, why? Why? Why would they bring in Adam Thielen? That doesn't make sense to me. You see, Baker doesn't need a number one. Unless maybe he. That's the thing. Where we're at right now with Baker, I don't want to ruin the potential of what he could have the next few weeks. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm kind of hesitant about bringing in any receiver. And Adam Thielen, I'm not a huge Adam Thielen fan. Let me get that out of the way. I'm really not. He's not. If I had a laundry list of guys that I would like, he wouldn't be at the top. He's a good player. That is unbelievable to me. the Browns are in contact with the Vikings about Adam Thielen? Why? And this is a reliable source. This is like this guy has broken news. Like this isn't Sir Yacht, and I like Sir Yacht, but yeah, exactly. If they do get him, well, OBJ, I think OBJ's done anyway. That's a guy that won't complain about getting the ball. Yes, but will Baker be able to just do his job? Let's just say hypothetically the Browns bring in Adam Thielen. You guys answer in the chat. Number one, what do you think it's going to take? Because I think it's probably going to take something pretty decent. And then number two, is Baker going to be able to just do his job, honestly? Because that's all I want. I don't care who we have at receiver. I don't care if they go out and sign or trade for. I don't care. Go trade for. This is hypothetical, but you could get Julio Hopkins, Tyreek Hill. I don't care. I don't care. What I care about is Baker being able to be a good quarterback. Because that's what the Browns need. Let me keep looking at this. So 23 minutes ago, this news came out. Adam Thielen to Cleveland is not a done deal, but my understanding is the two teams have talked. No deal done yet. 2 and a 3. We have 2 threes. That's a good point. Whoa, that is a really good point. Because if the Browns have 2 threes, they'd be more comfortable moving off of 1 for sure. Okay, hold on. I'm not trying to we have 2 4s too? Well, that might get interesting. Like, I don't mean to not talk here, but I'm apparently Twitter's ablaze and I haven't been paying attention. Sir Yacht is saying he got a DM from somebody. I was at the Atlanta airport today and I happened to spot Falcons linebacker Deion Jones on a board to a flight to Cleveland. I saw him sitting there when I walked over to my gate to Salt Lake City. Now that one would make sense. That would make sense. What is happening right now on freaking Twitter? And I'm sitting here playing Madden. What the heck? Oh, heck no. Oh, shoot. Well, source just said Falcons linebacker Deion Jones is being shopped. The top 2 teams are the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers. This can't be real. This can't be real. If the Steelers get Deion Jones, are you kidding me? According to Sir Yacht, and I like Sir Yacht. A lot of people think he's just an idiot. I like Sir Yacht. It would make sense for the Browns, but it would also make sense from the Steelers. Let me move this up. There we go. It makes sense. It makes sense for the Steelers too, because you think about what's his name just got hurt. So I gotta move this down a little bit more. How in the world? Adam Thielen. Okay, Sir Yacht saying this too. The Browns are talking about acquiring wide receiver Adam Thielen from the Vikings. Cleveland has a lot of cap room, and will be very busy to get deals made before the deadline. What is happening? Oh. This is the world we live in. It's just chaos. So, reportedly, that's the thing. If this wasn't like, now I would tell you guys anyway. Like, I don't know who's all watching. Obviously, Hunter and Kyle, I know you guys have been active. Tom, I don't know if you're still here, but um if this wasn't like a reliable source, I wouldn't be like talking about it seriously. But the fact that there's credible sources saying that Adam Thielen to the Browns is a possibility, like legit possibility, and then Deion Jones is on a flight to Cleveland or whatever, there's no way. But that's the thing though. If we get what's his name? If we get Adam Thielen, I don't know who to be happy. Or I don't know if I should be happy or not. I mean, I lost my voice when we traded for OBJ. Seriously. I'm gonna put that down because now I gotta be looking at this stuff. Deion, I would love to get Deion Jones here. Let's see if I can find more. None of y'all else seen this? I'm just now seeing this crap. And I'm not seeing anything on Instagram. Well, but keep in mind though, that one may not just be speculation. If that's true though, and he is on a flight to Cleveland, that would be for a what do you call that? Physical. That's why he would be coming to Cleveland to do a physical. So that would make sense. Well, and keep in mind the Falcons are just tearing it down. So that would make sense. And another thing, Quinnen Williams is on the trade block for the Jets. Let me know in chat if that would be something y'all are interested in. So I like Quinnen Williams. And he's on a rookie contract too. Where do I see Julio going? It's a good question. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't think it's fair to say he is a bust because he doesn't have help in New York. He's a guy who I think if he came, let's say hypothetically, he comes to Cleveland. If he's starting, I don't know if he'd start over Ogunjobi or he wouldn't start over Richardson. But if they rotated the two, I could see him being really good. I don't think he's a bust. I think he's just been on a terrible team, honestly. So I'm not seeing anything else right now. Let me keep refreshing Twitter. That's the thing, though, is why would the Browns give up anything big for Adam Thielen? It doesn't make sense to me. Y'all see Eli Apple got cut? I know might be because I'm an Ohio State fan, but I would bring him in. Wouldn't hurt. We need the depth. Forget Stefanski. That is a good point. Now that is a good point. But the problem with Baker is when he's not fixated on one guy, he's really good. Would he be locked in on Thielen like he was OBJ? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't. I mean, honestly, if he came to Cleveland, man. Man. I'm just sitting here picturing Adam Thielen in a number 19 Browns jersey. And I could see it. I really could. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I do see that. Stefanski might be pushing for Adam. That is that's a very interesting conversation. It's a very interesting conversation because if he knows the system, you know what I mean? Because he wasn't the kind of, it was Stephon Diggs that was the one causing trouble as far as like the locker room. So if I don't know, but it sounds, what I'm seeing, it sounds like it's going to get interesting pretty quick because the trade deadline is next Tuesday. So we got a week. And they're going to try to get deals done quicker because they're going to have to get guys in for physicals and stuff. Because with all the virus stuff going on, and honestly, yeah, Diggs couldn't stand Kirk. Honestly, I think there's something to be said with Beckham and Baker. Not that Beckham doesn't like Baker, but he knows. Oh, that's my lamp. I was about to say, I moved my head right there. Thought somebody was sitting there. Anyway, I'm an idiot. Not that Beckham doesn't like Baker, but I think he knows he's been playing terrible. I mean, Beckham knows. Beckham knows it doesn't work. And honestly, I do believe he was saying, "Come get me" last year. Because I think he knows how much of a dumpster fire it was. So. And I don't like Diggs either. I don't like Diggs. And he's been pretty good in Buffalo, but not, I don't know. Hey, the Giants signed Corey Coleman to their practice squad. How about that? I thought he was already in New York. Where did we trade him to? Because did we cut him or did we trade him? I don't remember. Somebody let me know. Oh man, Wisconsin's quarterback, Mertz, just had that crazy game. Just tested positive again for COVID. 21 days now. That's sad. Biggest bust in NFL history. I assume you're talking about Coleman. Well, if there's a bust out there, we'll find him. Yeah. And I liked Corey Coleman too. I thought he was going to be good. He's terrible. Garbage. Manziel. I think, honestly, if Manziel was on a better team, sounds crazy, but honestly, if Manziel was on a better team, I think he could have had, like, I'm not saying he'd still be a quarterback, but I think he'd have a better start. I think he could have lasted longer. Just like, that's another thing you've seen with Antonio Callaway. Same thing. Should have stayed in college. You know, I mean, he was a first-round pick. So it's hard to say that. Uh, do y'all think we'll make Denzel Ward the highest paid corner in the league? No. We need to extend him ASAP. That sliding tackle he had Sunday, that was unbelievable. OBR on Japan report. I'm trying to think. What's the not Cleveland.com, but trying to think for like breaking news on this stuff where I should go. Unless you want to suck. Who are you talking about? Who are you talking about when you say we want to suck? uh Sendejo, he's just Henry Ruggs is going to absolutely obliterate him. Denzel Ward. What do you mean if we want to suck? Denzel Ward. What do you mean? I love Denzel Ward. You're saying he's bad? Oh, okay. That's the thing. When you look at a team, you can tell how good they are by their key positions. Left tackle, quarterback, corner, and well, not really corner, but left tackle, quarterback. There we go. Left tackle, quarterback, defensive line player, like end specifically, or D tackle, and then corner, those positions. And the Browns right now have a good left tackle, hopefully a good quarterback. That's what we're thinking. Hopefully. Hopefully. Um we got Miles. So we're set up for the future. Mari, where you at? Which one is you? You texted me, but which one is you? So let me know. Would you guys want Adam Thielen or not? Sham Hunt, really? That's your name that you chose? So you Hunter, you want him? Who else is in here? I really don't know if I want him or not, honestly. I really don't know. Cuz he would be great to have, but so is OBJ, you know? So, I don't know if he's that's the thing. I don't know if Baker can do it. Cuz that's the thing. You don't want to trade anything valuable to go out and get Adam Thielen and then it not work out like OBJ, because the Giants absolutely murdered us on that trade. And we thought, remember when that trade happened, we thought that wasn't even close. A first, a third, and Peppers. We thought, oh my gosh, that's what a robbery. And here we are. Yeah, I want Deion Jones too. I would love to have Deion Jones. Him or Miles Jack. Any more news? That's what I'm doing right now. I'm on this Browns chat on Instagram. Mari, you're in it too. And I haven't read anything, so all I'm seeing is Deion Jones, Browns Twitter going nuts. Yeah, last night, Sir Yacht was saying about Michael Thomas coming to Cleveland. I would rather. I don't want Michael Thomas. I don't like Michael Thomas. Never really have. I don't think he's as great as a lot of people think he is. Not that he's not good, but uh, some saying multiple player trade to receive. Whoa. Some are saying multiple player trade, and the Browns would receive Thielen and Anthony Harris. So, what would the Browns trade? Could the Browns trade OBJ? I don't think you can trade a hurt player, can you? No, if they trade Jarvis Landry, I'm done. Sendejo, yeah. Oh, could, you know what? It sounds crazy, but they like him. Seriously, the Vikings like Sendejo. They might. Wouldn't be for much. They might. I'll trade him for free. I'd trade him for a bag of chips. It's terrible. Trade deadline rumors. All right, let me check out Twitter again. I'm not seeing anything new yet. Adam Thielen, though, said Gallup. Dude, I would love to get Michael Gallup. I think he would be perfect because he's not a number one guy. You know what I mean? Like, he's not a guy that would come in and Baker would say, "Oh, I have to get him the ball." But he plays like how Jarvis is number two and is very reliable and, does what you need him to do, whatever. That's what Michael Gallup is for the Cowboys. I love Michael Gallup, you know? So I would love that. Because that's my only worry with Thielen is Thielen's a number one. He was number two. He was a number two when Diggs was there, but he would come to Cleveland and be, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it would work. I don't know. Let me look up Cleveland. Latest. Um. Now this is interesting. As a diehard Vikings fan, this is somebody on Twitter. As a diehard Vikings fan, I speak for us all when I say we want Adam Thielen out of here. I think it serves best for the future for him to go to the Browns and play winning football there. That's interesting. Why would a Vikings fan say that? Look at this. Baker Mayfield's red zone stats. 18 of 25, 13 touchdowns, 0 picks. That doesn't make sense to me why a Vikings fan would say they don't want him. Yeah, maybe. I'm just seeing a lot of speculation. But Deion Jones to me makes the most sense. Yeah. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Let me check out this guy's Twitter. Okay, so he's saying can't say this enough. No deal has been done, but it's confirmed that the teams have talked. That is interesting. The fact that they're even talking, like you can talk about will they get him all you want. The fact that they have at least made a point to talk about getting Adam Thielen, like it'd be different if it was just speculation, you know. But the fact that they have made it a point to have a conversation, you know, have weapons. Yeah, we do, but that might be a part of it. They might throw Njoku in. They might say a second or a third round pick, David Njoku. Trying to think what else the Vikings would want. I don't know. I just want I want to keep DPJ and I want to keep Higgins here. Stefanski's trying to assemble the Vikings. Yeah. You know, maybe Thielen would work in Cleveland. Maybe he would work in Cleveland. I don't know. What's his contract? Do you know? Anybody know? I don't know what his contract is. Let me look it up. Okay. Jeez, Adam Thielen, 16 mil a year, according to this. Is that right? 4 years, 64. Yeah. But is Adam Thielen worth that? Okay, let's see here. I don't know what you're going to get for OBJ right now because I don't know when he's going to play again. Okay, so the Vikings and Adam Thielen agreed to a 4-year, $64 million deal. Okay. 35 million in guarantees. All right, I guess that's all it was. I don't know who would want OBJ right now because I don't know when he'll be back on the field. So Sendejo, nothing would make me happier than getting him out of Cleveland. He's terrible. It's like what in the last time we played the Raiders, Chubb came into the game, had like 3 carries with 2 touchdowns, over 100 yards. Then freaking Hugh Jackson wouldn't play Chubb. He wouldn't play Chubb, so they just straight up traded Carlos Hyde. Hmm. Haven't heard anything. No, I haven't. That's what I was looking for. I haven't heard any updates. So I guess I'm gonna go back to playing Madden and just keep asking questions or whatever. Nice catch. Thank God for whoever does these updated rosters for like the draft next year on Madden. Did you look that up? Belichick is interested in Thielen. See, the Patriots, honestly, the Patriots should just tank. I mean, no, Belichick wouldn't do it, but on Twitter 9 hours ago. That's the thing about Twitter. Twitter is full of fake crap, but sometimes it can be great. He bought a house where? In Strongsville. But here's the deal with that. Oh, hold on. Gosh, they keep blitzing every play. That's what happened. That's what the reports were with Josh McDaniels. Everybody was saying, "Oh, he bought a house." I don't know what is Strongsville in Cleveland. I don't live in Cleveland. I don't know. Or by Cleveland. Somebody answer that. Trevor Lawrence. It amazes me how there are some. Let's talk about this. It's amazing to me how there are some Jets fans that go on YouTube and make videos and say with a straight face that they would be fine if the New York Jets kept Sam Darnold and didn't take Trevor Lawrence. It's hilarious to me. Sam Darnold sucks. He hasn't been good in the league at all. Like, people want to talk about Mayfield. Mayfield's at least been good in the league at times. Like, he's had his terrible times, but he's at least been good in the league. You know what I mean? So, Jets fans, not all Jets fans think this way, but honestly, if you're a Jets fan and you think that Sam Darnold is your future and you're just gonna let Trevor Lawrence pass, listen, Sam Darnold is not talented enough. Sam Darnold is not talented enough to lead a decent team. He's not. Trevor Lawrence could take a decent team to above 500 record at least. Yeah, Cowherd. That's the thing. Colin Cowherd, these Jets fans, that's the problem with NFL fans as a whole. We get on here and we listen to a bunch of idiots with microphones like I have here uh, and they take what they say as gospel. Colin Cowherd knows about as much as me or you. He just has it on a bigger platform. So just because Colin Cowherd comes out here and says that Sam Darnold, he went when they hired Adam Gase, Colin Cowherd was on here saying about how Colin Cowherd was on here saying about how good that's, saying that that's their future. Colin Cowherd, and I'll say this, Colin Cowherd today at least said something somewhat smart. They asked him about the OBJ stuff. Well, they didn't ask him anything. He talked about it himself. And he said, "Listen, it's never worked. It's not neither guy's fault. It was a forced relationship and it didn't work out." And that's the truth. So, and I was shocked that he didn't blame Baker. Adam Thielen to the Browns tonight or tomorrow, bet it. I'll believe it when I see it. That's kind of one of those things where that's the thing. I should have my phone just in case. If that happens, I'll probably be happy. I will. But I don't know because I don't trust Baker. I don't trust Baker to be able to perform with any good talent. Now the good news is at least when Thielen was with Diggs, he was a number 2, so he might, like you were saying earlier, I don't remember who, I think might have been Hunter, was saying he's not a dominant personality, he'd be great for the locker room, whatever. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So Baker just needs, I don't know what it is with Baker. I think the problem is Baker is an alpha male. You know what I mean? He's the guy running up and down the sidelines. He's the one cheering, whatever, all hype, doing that thing. When OBJ was here, he didn't. When OBJ was here, he didn't do that. He hasn't. You know why? Because OBJ, he's that alpha personality, and it seems like on the field they just clash. You know what I mean? Like they're not working together as far as like let's go do it, both of us. Like it seems like it's just OBJ's out there like when they in Pittsburgh game, OBJ was on the sideline hyping people up, whatever, talking to that is Baker's job. That's what Baker's supposed to do. So for him to just flat out, when Beckham was on the field with him, just kind of sit there and do his thing, that's concerning to me. So, Kill Wilson, what's going on, my man? Congratulations on winning that Brownie post game. That's awesome. Those guys are awesome. I love him and his dad. They honestly, if I had to pick, if you said, "Hey, you got one YouTube channel of like Browns talkers," I guess you could say, it would probably be them because they're not like the super opinionated guys. You know what I mean? They just do like this. They sit down, have a conversation. I love those guys. True or false? Browns fans must hate one player. Exactly. When we all rotate, that's the thing. We all rotate. It's like Antonio Callaway for me was. I got blocked by him because I was on Instagram last season after the Niners game. I was on there and I said, I DM'd him. I said, "Dude, you could be a good player if you would just get off of drugs and focus on your career." He blocked me. So, I'm trying to keep OBJ's drama queen. OBJ's not a drama queen compared to some guys. Like he could be much worse. Like a lot of people were saying that when he was like last year. I didn't think he was bad at all. Now he certainly had some moments, but Surprised Greedy didn't block you. Well, Greedy, I like Greedy. That's the thing. When I made that video about Greedy, I didn't know his injury. I didn't know what was going on with him. So, and odds are he didn't see. He doesn't care about, some kid who does stupid videos. He doesn't care about me. None of these guys should. Sendejo's the worst player on the squad. That's not even debatable. That's not even a question. That's like, you can name. I would rather, let's see. AJ Green was an undrafted free agent corner out of Oklahoma State. I would rather him attempt to play free safety right now as an undrafted rookie than keep Sendejo. I don't understand. Like, I get it, they like him, and you certainly have your players that you like just based off of past relationships and whatnot. But how they don't see how terrible he is, I don't understand it. But hey, Kid Wilson, I don't know if you've seen. I'll answer that in a minute. But Kid Wilson, did you see the Thielen rumors? Apparently, we're getting Thielen. Would you take Peppers back? Redo the? Of course, I would. Of course, I would. Now, of course, now you can see Teller. Well, I thought Teller was going to turn out to be pretty good anyway, because when we got him, he was a starter, and he wasn't great, but he was doing a solid job. So I thought he would be a pretty good fit. I didn't think he'd be rated the best guard in the league this season, but that's another thing. We were picking 17th in that draft. You know who would have been sitting there right for us to take wide receiver? DK Metcalf. I would love to have DK Metcalf. That dude is a monster. Do I think there's real smoke around the Thielen trade? I wouldn't be mad if that happened. Here's the deal. Do I think there is smoke? A reliable source on, I can't remember his name. He changed his name. He's broken stuff for the Browns before, and he's reliable. And he said that it was 100% truth that the two teams have talked about Thielen. So they've talked about it. And if they've at least inquired about the possibility of going and getting him, I do think there is a chance. As far as would I be mad if that happened? If I got the alert, hey, the Browns traded a second, and I don't even know what it would take. I don't know what it take to get out on Thielen. But if the Browns traded for him and it was a good deal, good enough for both sides, I would I'd be happy in the moment. But the question is can Baker perform with a number one? Because you could argue, is Thielen a number one? But Beckham, for whatever reason, Baker just locked in on him. And that's a problem. That's a Baker problem. That's not OBJ's problem. That's not OBJ's fault. But for whatever reason, Baker is just so fixated on one guy. And that's the problem. If Baker can just do his job of being a quarterback, I wish I had my football. Sitting back in the pocket, going from read one, okay, he's not open. All right, read two, read three, back to one. That would be fine. I don't care who we'd get. I'd be happy about anybody. But Baker, what he's doing with OBJ is he's getting the ball and he's staying on read one, staring him down. And by the time that OBJ starts to get open, he's got guys in his face, so he's having to get out of the pocket. That's why he runs so much, and he's got happy feet. Because he's sitting there looking at OBJ trying to get it to him, but he's nervous because he knows he's getting pressure. So if Baker could do what he did against the Bengals and calmly sit back and go through his reads and just hit the open man no matter who it is. I don't care who we get. But the question is Thielen a guy that Baker would be fixated on? That's the question. I really don't know. I don't know that answer. But if he's not, if Baker can do what he did against the Bengals with Thielen, this team would be dangerous. But we don't really have a speed guy now. That's what this team's missing. I really do think that. When Baker had Hollywood Brown signed for a game test run, that's the thing. It's such an unknown because 3-game contract. That's the thing, because if you go out and you trade for Adam Thielen, you're trading for him long term. You're thinking that he's going to be there long term. So that's the most frustrating thing about Baker. And Kid Wilson, I love Baker. I do. I think he can be a great player. But it's so frustrating because for whatever reason, he has his problems with number one receivers. Oklahoma, he had a bunch of number 2s and number 3s. And he was able to just, do his thing, spread the ball around. If Thielen comes to Cleveland and Baker can just spread the ball around like he's doing, or like he was doing Sunday, the Browns will be great. But I don't know. And plus, if they trade for Thielen, it's like Hunter, I think that was you. It's like what he said. OBJ's done. I don't think he's coming back anyway. I think we've seen his last game, and it's unfortunate. It's like I said when I, talked about, are the Browns better without him? It's sad because I want to love OBJ. I think he's an incredible talent. He's got a skill set and a presence about him that not a whole lot of guys do. And it's like Kid Wilson, it's like what you said. When you hear him talk, it's just you can tell that he's now at this point in his career, he's just like, listen, I don't care. I just want to win. And if Baker didn't have his problems with OBJ, and Baker could just do what Baker does with OBJ, this team would be fantastic. But I don't see, because what I think is going to happen is I think you're going to see the rest of this season Baker do what he did year one, spreading the ball around, hitting guys who, like your Donovan Peoples-Jones, your Rashard Higgins, those guys. He's going to do that, and he's going to look great. What we loved from him year one, I think he's going to do times 3, like I said early on this stream. But the problem is, how much of what he does is that going to get him? I don't think it'll get him an extension. I think Baker could play like an MVP this season, and I don't think he's going to get. I don't think he's going to get an extension. I think they just pick up his 5th year, and then say, "Hey, do it again," and then we'll trust you enough to give you a contract. Nothing happened, Hunter, that I know of. Not yet. Maybe. Plus, when I told you about that speculation, that was a while ago. So, how about the Ravens signing Bryant? That's crazy. Baker can put a few games. That's the thing, is I think what the Browns have coming up, Raiders defense isn't good. Then you got a bye week, and then you got the Texans. And then after that, I want to say it's Jacksonville, you know? So now is the perfect time for Baker to catch his fire again. And then we're not okay. People are saying, "Well, you'll be fine once you beat the Steelers and once you beat the Ravens." I don't think we're doing that this year. So it's not about right now. It's not this year's not about beating the Ravens and Steelers. This year's about being competitive, showing that you can be competitive. That's what I want to see. I don't Sanu, I don't know. It wouldn't hurt, but I don't know. But Deion Jones is definitely somebody that I would be trying to go out and get, especially because the Falcons would be willing to do that. Show us some improvement. Exactly. The Browns team right now. There was talks before Sunday when Baker showed some signs of being good again, that there was talks of people saying, "Oh, you trade for Matt Ryan, whatever, and this team's a Super Bowl contender." I don't care who you got playing quarterback for the Browns. That defense needs a lot of work. And in order to go make a deep run in the playoffs, the Browns will probably make the playoffs, but they're going to have to, they're likely going to lose game one. So, so the Browns have a lot of work to do defensively. Now, the good news is you get Delpit back. You get Harrison in year 2, same system. Phillips shown a lot of good signs. I know he's strong safety. Who? What do you mean? Ronnie is a strong safety. Delpit's a free. Or Delpit was gonna play free for us. So Delpit, Browns make a trade. Delpit, okay, I thought I seen my phone light up and I thought that this was breaking news, but because I seen Thielen, but the same one that first reported on Thielen is saying hard to see Injuberry parting ways with a second or third round pick. Thielen's contract is also an issue. So there's a lot of parts to this. The Browns have been in talks, but he's saying wouldn't consider him serious right now. Well, I got news for you. If it's if they're in talks, I would consider it to be serious. Because they wouldn't be making offers, or at least talking about offers, if it wasn't serious. So breaking news for Twitter. Sometimes Twitter's normally the first place that it breaks. Or Instagram. But a lot of times, like Schefter and Rappaport are always first if on the big stuff. The small stuff, like the Ronnie Harrison trade, back when that happened, that was from I want to say Mary Kay was the first one. I think. Yeah, I like the games on Tuesday night too. I'm the kind of guy that would like football on every day, honestly. So, but yeah, I just don't know why. I don't know why Andrew Berry would be in talks, number one, with trying to get a big name receiver. Like, I wouldn't be focused on a big name receiver. I'd be focused first on defense. Baker what? Baker is going to be the what? Okay, I get what you're saying now. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think Baker can play fantastic the next 8 games we have left, and I don't think they're gonna extend him. I think they'd pick up his 5th year. Because that's the good thing about the 5th year. You don't have to guarantee, you don't have to ship out, you know, the Mahomes contract, and Baker wouldn't get that anyway, but rather trade for a linebacker or safety than wide receiver. Um, I'm not saying that I wouldn't trade for a wide receiver, but the priorities should be linebacker. No, probably. Well, really, honestly, the number one priority would be free safety, and then linebacker, and then probably corner, and then D end, and then another linebacker. So, no news on Deion Jones yet. Honestly, if there's going to be any trades happening, they're probably going to happen Thursday, Friday, Saturday would be my guess, because it's like what Kevin Stefanski said today. The deadline being November 3rd doesn't mean that that's when all the deals will be done, because of how all the protocols right now. They're going to it'll be moved up. So that Tuesday, I mean, you'll see a lot of deals done um, anywhere from now up until Monday. I don't expect that Tuesday to have a lot of news, but I do think there will be a lot of trades, though. I was talking about this the other day. I love Harrison Bryant, but do you think we could have gotten a linebacker safety there in that spot? Um, I'd have to go back and look at who was there, but Harrison Bryant right now, thank God, because now you're gonna have your guy for at tight end for a long time. Because Austin Hooper, they're probably Hooper's on like 4 years right now. I think 4-year deal. They're gonna keep Hooper. Njoku will be gone, and then eventually Harrison Bryant will take over for Hooper as your number one. Um, Njoku wants to be gone. I don't know if he wants to be gone now. I don't know. I think he's kind of flip flopped because the Browns are very inconsistent. So now with Beckham out, he'll probably get more chances. So I don't know. Barry's a great GM. Yeah. Based on his draft class this year, I would agree. I don't think they missed on a single pick. I really don't. I mean, Jedrick Wills has been playing phenomenal. That's no doubt. Jedrick Wills have been playing phenomenal. Delpit, we don't know, but Delpit looked great in camp. So it looked good there. Then 3, you got Jacob Phillips, who, when he's been on the field and when he's been healthy, he's been playing very good. And I think that we're really missing him right now. So I think that was a good fit. Keep in mind, he led that LSU defense in tackling, and that defense was stacked. Patrick Queen played the same position that he did, linebacker, and Phillips was the one who led the team in tackles. And Queen went number 1, or went first round, I should say, not number 1 overall. But and then you had Jordan Elliott, who's been fine. I mean, he hasn't been great, but he's also he'll be a guy that once Richardson leaves, he'll probably take over as number 1. I think once he gets more time, he'll be really good. So those were the 3rd round picks. 4th round was Harrison Bryant. That's stud. 5th was Nick Harris. And in camp, Harris looked really good. He looked really good. And he took first team reps for a lot of it because JC. Remember, JC was hurt, or he had surgery or something. And then of course 6 was Donovan Peoples-Jones, my guy out of Michigan, and that was probably the happiest I've ever been for a 6th round pick in my life. So, I mean, right now all of those picks are looking good. Now, obviously, you got to look at everybody who was around wherever they picked. But so far it's looking good. Yeah, Phillips looked like he was a vet playing linebacker when he was in. So he's a guy, like Taki. I like Sione Taki, but the problem with him is he's a very situational linebacker. He's not an every down linebacker. Phillips can do both. Phillips is his skill set's tackling, but he led the SEC as a whole in tackling. Oh, okay. Like, I think Phillips is just quicker than Taki is. So the Browns, I think Mack Wilson will be here long term. I think Phillips will be here a while, and then they need to get another linebacker. Njoku just wants to play. That's what it is. Honestly, Njoku probably would be perfect for the Patriots right now. They need help. So that's interesting, though, on Thielen. I never would have guessed. I never would have guessed that would be at least a conversation. Tell you what, though, Sunday, Henry Ruggs is going to absolutely tear apart Sendejo. I have him on fantasy. Normally when we play guys, I don't want to start them. Like if we play opponent's player, you know what I mean? Normally I don't start them out of hoping that the Browns can shut them down, but Henry Ruggs, I think, is going to have a day. And Derek Carr, honestly, when Gruden came to the Raiders, I thought Derek Carr would be out the door pretty quick. And he's been playing pretty good. So Ross, I've heard that. Ross is a massive bust, but he might be better on a new team. I don't know. It's going to be a good test. It is. It's going to be a good test for the offense more than the defense, because the defense is going to get absolutely torn apart. Like, this game is going to be a lot like the Cowboys game, I feel like, where it's just, I mean, the Raiders have a way better defense, but that doesn't mean that their defense is good. Cowboys defense is just that bad. 2 middle of the pack teams. I don't know. I get what you're saying there. I think the Browns and the Raiders are 2 borderline top 10 teams, but they're very close. The Browns really do need to beat the Raiders, because that's a team that they're going to be at competition with playoff wise, for a wild card spot, most likely. So it's kind of like the Colts, talking about that first quarter of the season. I'm sorry, not the first quarter, the second quarter. They had to beat one of the teams, the Colts or the Steelers. They had to beat one of them, and they did it against the Colts. And the Colts are Colts were the team that they would be another team that they would be competing for playoff spot. The Raiders are the other one. So is the Texans. I don't think the Texans. Once Romeo Cannell took over, they started gaining steam. But honestly, I won't be surprised if J.J. Watt gets traded. And if I was Andrew Berry, I'd consider it. I don't know what it would take, but I'd consider it. It's going to be an interesting week, though, because I think you're going to see a lot of big name guys from. I think you're going to see a lot of big name guys from the Vikings, from the Falcons, Jets, if there is such a thing on the Jets. Trying to think who else is tanking. Maybe the Broncos, maybe, depending on what they want to do. But trade their star players. The Bengals should sell big time. Geno Atkins, Dunlap should be out the door. AJ Green, just move on. They don't want to be there anyway. Get what you can for them. You can't. That's the problem with these teams. They keep guys, who they have a history with, and when you have vets in the locker room like that, and you bring in new coaches, and when the vets don't agree with it, it just doesn't work, and it won't work. So, but I don't know. I don't know. Are you able to trade players on IR? I think you can, but I don't know for sure because OBJ, if they could trade him now, I don't know. But they can't flat out cut him right now because it'd be a 15 mil cap hit. So I don't know. It's gonna be kind of awkward if the Browns go out and get Adam Thielen and OBJ is still technically on the team. And how are these guys? How's Jarvis gonna react to OBJ or Thielen? That's gonna be awkward. I don't know. That's why I would almost not trade for a receiver. I don't know. One thing I do wonder is if Julio is going to leave Atlanta. I wonder if they'll trade him. Who? You talking about Jarvis or OBJ? Jarvis. You can't let Jarvis leave. He might want out, but you can't let him leave. Yeah, it sucks, but you know what else? Injuries suck. So it is what it is. I want Jarvis to retire as a Brown. That was the best thing. That was the best. One of the best decisions that Dorsey made was going out and getting Landry. I was thinking about this though. You think about those first 3 picks for Dorsey. If Mayfield can turn it around, and we've talked about this plenty of times. If Mayfield can turn this around, he'd have that pick, and the Browns would finally have their quarterback. Denzel Ward has been a stud so far. He's been hurt, but he's been a stud. Nick Chubb has been unbelievable. Yeah, and then like you said, he went out and he was able to sign Kareem Hunt. So Dorsey, he'll die on the Freddie Kitchens hill, or sword, I should say. But he also did a lot of great things. Like there's some Browns fans who act like Dorsey wasn't that great. Dorsey changed this franchise forever. I mean, you think about what we had before Dorsey came in. Now he swung for the fences, But yeah, I don't know about that, Hunter. There's gonna be so much speculation. That's the thing. That's a nice thing, or is at least while I'm at work, normally I'm just listening to a bunch of different stuff. And if it happens, it happens. You know, it is what it is. But it just frustrates me though, thinking about that OBJ trade. We could have had DK Metcalf sitting there number 17. It's unbelievable. And you know what? The Giants, they knew what they were doing. El Presador, I don't know if y'all know El Presador. Kid Wilson, I know you do, but he said it when it happened. He said the Giants knew they were picking a rookie quarterback, and they didn't want Beckham there to get in his head. I think he's right. Um, what do you think Bruce Arians and Kitchens would have done? Listen, Bruce Arians, I think, would have done a good job in Cleveland. Kitchens, well, first of all, it wasn't Kitchens. Uh, Kitchens was calling plays, but it was Ken Zampese giving him the plays. So it's not like Freddie Kitchens was just, you know, doing a spectacular job. He was getting handed, um, what to do. And maybe it would have worked out. But I don't know. I think we got our guy now. Kevin Stefanski, the little things he's doing right, you know. OBJ end up in Tampa. There ain't no way. Antonio Brown, Mike Evans, Goodwin. There ain't no way. There, maybe later. Yeah, I think Freddie would have done okay if he was given plays to call and didn't come up with his own offense. Oh yeah, yeah, I get what you're saying. And remember, Arians was on TV practically begging to come to Cleveland, and Dorsey. And I loved the Freddie Kitchens hire at the time because I thought, hey, this dude, he did it right. He went up, he climbed the ladder, coaching. You know what I mean? And went from running backs coach or whatever to offensive coordinator. And I liked him. I still think he's a good guy. I felt bad when he got fired, and that's not because I didn't want him to get fired, but he should have never been in that position. He was nowhere near ready to be head coach. Nowhere even close to it. And honestly, he probably wasn't even ready to be an offensive coordinator. So, no news yet. Greg Williams, they should have given him another year, I think. Cuz I mean the Browns were in no position to try to dictate, you know, who you can say no to. If you had a good coach that wanted to come here, you do it. You've had trash for coaching how many years? And Greg Williams got the best out of that team. And honestly, if the Browns didn't trade for Beckham, I think Baker wouldn't have stepped off. If Freddie Kitchens didn't become head coach, you know, I think we'd be having a different conversation about Baker. Stefanski, I do too. I think this organization is in really good hands with Andrew Berry. He's smart. He knows what he's doing. Here's the thing. Andrew Berry, everybody was saying, analytics. People were upset about that because of Sashi. But Andrew Berry is a good football guy too. He's not just analytics, and that's the same thing with Kevin Stefanski. They're not just all analytics. They know football, you know, and you get a system. It's like what Pittsburgh did. Pittsburgh's got a system. They got a culture. New England's got a culture. It doesn't matter what players they get. 9 times out of 10, the players come in and either they fit the system or they don't. The Browns got to get that. He did play. Yeah, he was a DB, I think. But Andrew Berry, I think Andrew Berry is he's got a lot of John Dorsey in him, but he's smart about it. John Dorsey would have went out and got Earl Thomas. So I do think we got our 2 guys, though. Now, quarterback remains to be seen. Hope for the best there. But if Baker, Podesta, that's the thing. We all hated D. Podesta. But he was right about the last 2 coaching picks. He picked, what's his name from Buffalo. And then he wanted Stefanski before we hired Freddie. So, can't say nothing about him anymore. Trade for the best player fit. I agree. Linebacker. You got to get at least one linebacker. Middle of the field is always open. I'd love Miles Jack. I don't know. Did he want Bridgewater? I like Bridgewater. I think he can be good. He's just been hurt. But he's not a franchise quarterback. He's not a guy that you want long term. He's a starter on a bad team. But how crazy is that Tyrod Taylor now, for the second time, gets hurt, rookie quarterback comes in, bye-bye Tyrod. That's crazy. And that Thursday night game, if you go back, I mean, that game gives you chills when Baker first comes into the game and just starts throwing darts. You're right. He did kickstart. That's what he is. If you want to draft a rookie quarterback, go out and get Tyrod Taylor. I was happy when we traded for him too, just because a veteran quarterback, similar height as Baker, not size, but as far as being a short quarterback. Now, nice play. If the Browns didn't have Tyrod, I still think Baker would have been fine. But you can't help but think, what happens if Baker started from game 1? I think he beats the Steelers week 1. The Saints game was close. I forget what the second game was. Or no, it was Steelers, Saints, Jets. Right? And we went 7-8-1. So we could have at least gotten to 9 wins maybe if Mayfield started. How crazy would that be? You went from 0-16 the year before, or was that 1-15 year? Either way, it was terrible. To 9-7-1, 6-1, whatever. It's just crazy to see how the Browns have changed over just the course of 4 years. It's unbelievable. 0-16 and 17. So was that So yeah, that was the year before Mayfield because Mayfield came in 18, right? Start out 3-0. Um, I don't know if we'd start out 3-0. We certainly would have a chance. Certainly would have a chance. Browns are offering the Vikings at least 2 picks for Adam. Do they get a third? What do you mean by that? That doesn't mean anything. I mean, two picks. That could mean a first and a second. That could mean 2/3. That could mean a second and a fifth. It just depends, you know. Um, I don't think they're gonna give up. They're not. I can't see the Browns giving up a first for Adam Thielen. I can't. You don't want Thielen returning kicks. If you're trading for him to be your number one receiver, you don't want him returning kicks. And that's the thing. I love Peoples Jones, and he was a good kick returner at Michigan. He just seems slow on his kick. I don't know if it's just because the NFL game is too quick. You know, I don't know because he was very good returning kicks at Michigan. That's why I thought he should be the kick returner from the start. But JoJo Natson. Now looking back at it, I'd love to have Natson back. There again, another ACL. Honestly, the Browns should just let Dearness Johnson return kicks. Or Hilliard. Only way I know. Yeah, that's the thing. You can go out and trade for a receiver, and you don't, if he's a number one, I think if we got a Golden Tate, a guy like that, he'd work with Baker. I don't have any doubt with that. The problem is a dominant number one receiver with a presence. You know what I mean? I don't know why Baker can't. I don't know. It is weird, though. But the crazy thing to me is how Baker goes from 0-5 with an interception to 21 straight, about 300 yards and 5 touchdowns. I mean, Baker Mayfield went from sucking, being hot and cold, to just dominant, and then eventually throwing the game winner. And that ball was the only place it could have been. So all these people saying, it's absurd to think that Baker can be better without OBJ. He has been his whole career without him. I think so too, and I think the offense is gonna look a little different now. Short pass, yeah, exactly. Short passes out of the gun. I think you're gonna see a lot of short passes out of the gun, play action, a lot more checkdowns to Kareem Hunt. And get Higgins in the mid, 15-yard, 20-yard range. No, not all the time. I mean, they'll still do the, under center play action stuff because that's what gets the run game, Watch the highlights of the Bengals. Halfback toss we ran over and over. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I get what you're saying. I'm telling you, I think if Chad O'Shea can develop DPJ, I think he could be a stud. He came when he was coming out of college, he was the number 1 ranked receiver. Number 1. Judy, Lamb, Ruggs. He was number 1 over all those guys. So he's got the talent. You don't get ranked number. It's hard to get ranked that high coming out of high school. Like that's what I'm saying. Coming out of high school, he was ranked number 1. So I think if they can develop him, he can turn out to be a stud. But they got to get Higgins on the field more. They have got to get hit. I mean, Baker is clearly comfortable with Higgins. They've got to get him on the field more. Yeah, and even Kadero Hodge was playing pretty well, especially that first Bengals game. Yeah, I like Chad O'Shea. I didn't like him at first because he looks funny. It's a weird looking dude. Not that I should say anything, but oh, sorry, yeah, update. Browns are offering the Vikings at least 2 draft picks for Thielen. So that's what you said, Hunter. Or was it? I don't know. But what 2 picks? That doesn't mean anything. 2 picks. Cool. What picks? Dude, if Sir Yacht gets this right, Wilson, coach, all playing well. I don't like Hodge. Same with Woods. Yeah, exactly. And that's why I'm excited about Greedy. I think Greedy could, be pretty good if he gets developed. There's going to be a lot. I'm starting to see a lot more buzz around Thielen. I really do think that there's something to that. I don't think they would just. I don't know. Thielen would know the playbook. That would be a plus. Yes, that is true. That is true. But then again, it's all Baker. It's all Baker. Yes, that's a good point. After we get through Sunday, the bye week, get healthy, get guys back, whoever we trade for coming in, get them up to speed. And then we have the Giants, the Jets, the Jags, the Texans. Let's go through that. So what are we at right now? 5 wins. Okay, so the Raiders, that'll be close. That'll be close. Hypothetically, I'm going to say that's a win. Let's beat that into existence. So that puts you at 6-2. Then you come out, and then you get the Texans. That should be a win. If we lose that game, there's something wrong. We should win that game. So that's 7. The Giants and the Jets are 2 automatics, should be 8, 9. Did I say the Jags yet? That's 10. And then you got the Titans, Steelers, Ravens. The Browns should have no problem getting to 10 wins. 9 is an absolute minimum. So I said 9. I predicted 9-7. There was Browns reporters were saying 8-8. I seen some 7-9s. That's ridiculous. The loser mentality in this city is unbelievable. And I've been doing this for 2 hours. That's unbelievable too. Should start a radio show. But if the Browns go out, they might, who knows? The Browns just might go all in on this year. They might. We got burned last year. Yeah, I assume you mean burn out. I think. Yeah. If that's what you mean, I do agree. If Adam Thielen comes to Cleveland, the real question is, will I spend the money to get a jersey? I don't know. It's a good question. we had high expectations because we're idiots. Well, no, I don't even think. Listen, I think our expectations were probably legit. I mean, Odell Beckham Jr. is a superstar. Freddie Kitchens was coming off of a great year, and Baker Mayfield, I mean, I thought was going to be an MVP candidate. So, Hunter, they just confirmed that the Browns offered 2 picks, so that's it. But like I said, that means nothing. Oh, what a catch. I don't know. I'm surprised though that the Browns waited this long to start getting into trade talks. Or maybe they didn't. Maybe we're just now hearing about it. I don't know what this is supposed to be straight, and it looks like it's bent. There we go. Whatever. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But that would be crazy if we did go get Thielen. And if we get Thielen, then the Vikings are absolutely tanking. Which would make sense. Black sheet and desk. I like this there. Right there. I made that little wall of Sports Illustrated covers and then Buckeye Fathead, whatever. I think that backdrop looks pretty good. Not too bad. I do need to get a desk, though. I do agree. No way. Zach Ertz is not going to the Ravens. Are you kidding? No way. All right. There's something new out. Let's see. Okay, so he's saying don't know about any offers on the table, but the two sides have talked. Don't know. Two sides have talked. Will not reach with my reports. I don't know what that means. Two teams have talked, aren't close to a deal quite yet. We'll learn more tomorrow. But that's not from Sir Yacht, though. That's from a reliable source. I would love to get a neon sign. I'd love that. Yeah, my backdrop, it used to be just a white wall. So it certainly has improved. There's no way that JJ Watt. The Seahawks don't have JJ Watt money. I don't think. I don't know if Sir Yacht's trolling or not, but he was right about the Big Ten. Oh, I'm seeing it now. Zach Ertz to the Ravens is almost a done deal. Zach Ertz is on IR. You can't. This man is. Sir Yacht, what are you doing, sir? He's got J.J. Watt, Zach Ertz, David Njoku. Listen to this. David Njoku could be dealt to the Cardinals for draft picks per source. Okay. I like him, but I don't know. Okay, he's saying that the Texans are in full sell mode. Kenny Stills, Fuller, and others are being shopped out of Houston. I don't know if I believe him. I don't. And he's saying that if the Browns and the Thielen deal don't go through, he's saying that the Browns want Golden Tate, which I'd be fine with that. I'd like Golden Tate. I always have liked Golden Tate. I liked him when he was on the Lions. I don't know, but it's starting to heat up. Could be an interesting day tomorrow. might have to do some more I like streaming. I like doing this. That's why I think I should start a Twitch. Because y'all can't see me playing Madden. And at least if I did a Twitch, you could see me and how terrible I am. Kid Wilson, I should have you on sometime to talk Browns. If you ever have time. It's the only problem. I'm just now figuring out how to do like record Zooms, and that's how like I've had Cam on. Yes, you too, Hunter. I already told you that. You clown. So I want to start having more people on. I really, really would like to have see if I could get Mike from Brownie Post Game to come on. I would love to get him on to talk Browns. And honestly, I've talked to Sir Yacht a few times. I think it might work. I think I could get Sir Yacht to come on my channel. What do y'all think? I'm trying to grow this thing. I've only been on YouTube like a year and a half. About a year and a half. And honestly, I started off. The only reason why I started a YouTube channel is because I want to go. I want to do. I want to do sports media as a career. So, I talked to somebody, and he told me to just start, like, get out there. So, I started a YouTube channel. You know, so, and I started off on Moohead Radio, and then me and him got into an argument, whatever. Then I wasn't on for a while. I just now came back, but I want to start having a lot more guests on. I don't know if there's a ton of great Browns guys. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot that I do like, and there's some that I really don't like. Like, I don't have anything against Quincy Carrier. He does hard. He works hard on his stuff, and I have a lot of respect for him. I really do. But some things he says, I don't understand. I don't. But I do respect hard work, and I can clearly tell that he works very, very hard on his stuff. I really like Mason Talks. He kind of started like doing this style of thing, just talking, and he grew his channel big. You just started making vids this year. Yeah, it's weird. When I started, my concern was that I would just get bored with it. Cause it's, I mean, I don't have a setup that's just like always there. Like I always have to set stuff up. So normally if I don't feel like it, then I don't. So should get Mason on. I would love to. I don't know if he would. I've talked to him a few times, but yeah, trying to think who else. Told you about Brownie Post Game. I just found two other guys. I don't know who they are, but they do kind of a podcast. Good Browns YouTubers. Number one, I'd tell you would be Brownie Post Game. If you just want this style of conversation, Tom Grossi, he's funny. He's funny. I watched his reaction to what is it? Oh, when the Packers drafted Jordan Love. That was hilarious. I have to set up a camera as well, sitting in the car always. Just thought about El Presador is the best channel on YouTube. I really don't care what anybody has to say about it. Name me anybody you want. I have never been more entertained from one human being than I have from him. There's been times at night where it's like 3, 4 in the morning, and I'm sitting there watching his. If you go look up El Presador Classics, the dude is just, and honestly, that's probably how I'm going to end up in my life, just like him, single, alone, yelling at a camera about the Browns. It's probably what my future's going to be, but he's one of the most entertaining people I think I've ever seen. So if you want like serious people, like he's not serious. Like he all week he was saying how he'd rather have RG3 than Baker, whatever. Hold on a second. Whoa, okay. Here's some news. He used to do press conferences. Oh my gosh, that was the greatest. All right, let me. All right. So per Sir Yacht, the Browns are major trade. The Browns are major trade deadline players per source. As already reported, they want the Vikings Adam Thielen. Listen to this. Second and a fourth round pick is what I'm hearing right now. Cleveland has also reached out to Golden Tate in case that Thielen doesn't happen. A second and a fourth? I'd do that. Let me know in the chat. Would you do that? Second and a fourth for Adam Thielen? I'd do that. What happened? Hunter, per Sir Yacht, the Vikings or the Browns are trying to give up a second and a fourth for Adam Thielen. And if that falls through, they're going to try to get Golden Tate. I'd be fine with that. Like, here's the deal. That's not like an OBJ. You know what I mean? Like, we gave up a first, a third, and a really good starting safety, a young, good starting safety. A second and a fourth would not be bad at all. Not be bad at all. It wouldn't be bad. I like Golden Tate. I do. El Presador, he's he's unbelievable because when you talk about, you know, what makes you a great content creator is is just, you know, I guess you could say your creativity, you know, your you know, you can't be embarrassed. And I mean, that man walks through stores trolling people, and it's unbelievable. But Stefanski, I agree. I think Stefanski sees Beckham go down. He knows Beckham's not going to be the guy here long term. Oh, there's no way. There is no way. Are you kidding me? No way. No, this has got to be fake. There's no way. Oh my. This is Sir Yacht, so keep that in mind. Reportedly, the Browns are looking heavily for defensive help. Reportedly to be in play for Patriots All-Pro Stephon Gilmore. What is happening? There's no way. I'm sorry. There's no way. There's no way. Browns, Stephon, no. Come on. There's, come on. What is happening? Here's the thing, Kid Wilson. I would agree if he wasn't right in the past. He was right about the Pac-12. He was right about the Big Ten coming back. Okay, so All right, this is interesting what he's saying. I don't know who his source is. He's saying the Browns are also reportedly searching for major defensive upgrades. Hearing reports of Deion Jones, there you go, Hunter. Harrison Smith, which doesn't make sense because Harrison Smith is a strong safety, and others. The Browns have discussed trading David Njoku to the Arizona Cardinals for Harrison Reddick and/or a draft compensation pick that could be used for dealing Adam Thielen. This is insane. I started this stream just for, just talking random, preview the game. I did not think that this would be what I'd be talking about. There's no way. There's no way that the Browns are in play or trying to get Adam Thielen, Stephon Gilmore, Deion Jones. There's no way. You should see the comment section for these tweets. This is unbelievable. I don't know who his source is, but whoever. I hope Sir Yacht's not lying either. Can you imagine if the Browns? There's no way they couldn't. There's no way that the Browns. Why would the Patriots give up Stephon Gilmore? Why? That doesn't make sense. Plus he's on a huge contract. Are the Browns going full Chiefs and just I can't explain it. I don't know. But based on everything I've seen so far, Adam Thielen is real. Like, that's not just speculation. That's a possibility. And they're actively trying to go out and get Adam Thielen. The Browns are one of the most frustrating teams, I think, to root for because it is just constant chaos. Sitting here on a Tuesday night, just doing a live stream, talking about the Browns. And here we are. Now Thielen. I should get off. I'm hungry. But I also I want to keep up with these updates. That's the thing, though. Sir Yacht, like, Tuesday night might be your slot. Maybe. Honestly, maybe. Because originally I was going to do not a live, but do a Zoom with Cam and record that talking about the Raiders game, but I just wasn't feeling like doing it tonight. So I don't know. I tried live streaming on my phone and YouTube won't let me. So I don't know. Maybe I should. Should I start doing a Tuesday night live stream? Why not? Might as well. Might as well. I got to start doing the podcast more. You've never live streamed? Dude, no, you don't have to have a one. You have to have to do it on your phone, not on a computer. Kid Wilson, you should come be on Moohead Radio. He's letting anybody come on. The only reason why I came back to come on his channel was just because tired not having anybody to talk to for Brown stuff. So yeah, he'd let you. I mean, if you want me to, I can tell him. I'd link your channel to him. Just say, hey, he wants to, or he's interested in coming on. Now, I will say this. My problem is he can be pretty opinionated, especially when it comes to politics. Like, I don't care where you line up politically. I really don't. I got my opinions. You're allowed to have yours. But normally, if you try to argue with him over that crap, he throws a fit. But not seeing anything new yet. But still, that's. Oh, you have listened to him for years, really? He's not. He was the. I will say this, even though we have had our disagreements in the past, whatever, he was really where I started, It's where I kind of got comfortable talking on camera, because a lot of people, not everybody, but a lot of people do this, start YouTube channels, whatever, but you really got to get comfortable doing it. So, I give credit to him that he let me come on, and because that's been a while ago now, but because I'm surprised he let me come on, because I didn't have any good equipment. I didn't really know, not that I didn't know what I was talking about, because I did, but I wasn't good at talking about it. You know what I mean? So I do give credit to him for allowing me to at least do that. So, but and since then, started the YouTube channel here, and it's what it is. So, trades, Hunter, I don't see any trades happening tonight. If anything, they'll happen tomorrow. Okay, trade deadlines. That's just unbelievable to me how, like, this is not fake. Like, Thielen might happen. That's insane. Like, I don't know that it will happen, but they're trying to make it happen. And honestly, if that's true, a second and a fourth round pick, I'd be thrilled. I'd be thrilled with that, because even if it doesn't work out, it's not like you're giving up a 17th pick, So, okay, he said, who are you talking about? If the Browns trade for Stephon Gilmore, I'll lose my voice. I will. I won't lose my voice over Thielen. I'll be happy about the possibility. But if we trade for Stephon Gilmore, I'm going to lose my mind. I love Stephon Gilmore. And Deion Jones, too. I wouldn't lose my mind over Deion Jones, but I'd be certainly happy. Falcons are blowing it up. They are absolutely blowing it up. I don't know if they'll trade Matty Ice. I don't know about that. But I know Vikings fans want Justin Fields. I don't know if they'll be picking high enough though. Because I think Trevor and Fields are going to go 1-2. I really do. I mean, Justin Fields was nearly perfect Saturday. And his one incompletion hit Olave in the hands. So, you know. Jets wouldn't take Fields at 1, I don't think. The only way they'd take Fields is if they traded down a spot. Yeah, Kid Wilson, isn't that crazy? Because that's what I was thinking too heading into the season. Because, I mean, Gary Kubiak won that Super Bowl in Denver, and I thought, but here's the thing. Just because even if it was Kubiak, that doesn't mean that's a bad thing. He's still learning under Kubiak, you know? So, but based on what you're seeing now, I I think it was more Stefanski than a lot of people think. I'm not saying it was all Stefanski, but I think it was certainly about 80%. Because that's what I was saying to you earlier in the year about look at Kirk Cousins' numbers and then look at Mayfield's. They're slowly going to get better, you know? So, but I think Mayfield is primed for a huge jump right now. Because as sad as it is to say, OBJ really put a cap on him. And it's not OBJ's fault, it's Baker's fault. Yeah, and then also Alex Van Pelt. Alex Van Pelt, he's worked with quarterbacks too. And that's Alex Van Pelt was the one who was fixing Baker's footwork. And I forget I watched some team's presser. I forget who it was we were playing, and they asked about Baker and what they seen, and they said the number one thing that you notice from Baker is his footwork. They said it's so much better. I don't know. I think it was a team we played last year because I think they said something about you can tell it's really improved. So I don't know. I think it's like you said, all eyes on Baker. It's what it's going to be every game. That's what it was his rookie year. I mean, he gave us that hope, and we all you wanted to see was Baker, Baker, Baker. So I don't know. I think OBJ was the issue for Baker. And like I said, it is not OBJ's fault. It's Baker's fault. That's the thing. They were a forced. OBJ was not happy about coming to Cleveland. He wasn't. We can lie to ourselves and pretend he was. I don't think he was. I think he became okay with it eventually. But yeah, I do think it is partial. Well, I don't know. Because I think if I was John Dorsey and I had that opportunity, I'd probably do the same thing. I would. So I don't know. I think it's just one of those things where it's like it should work. You don't know why it wouldn't work, and then it's just one of those things. But I don't know. It doesn't make sense. And that's my question about Adam Thielen. If you make this move, what makes you think that Thielen's going to work? And I think the only answer there would be because of the Kevin Stefanski offense. But then again, was Diggs better in the offense last year than Thielen? I don't know. I don't remember. Yeah, the team fell apart last year after game 1, really. But the crazy part about that game was the Browns, I don't know if they were tied, but I think they were within like 3 points going into the fourth quarter, and they just gave up that fourth quarter. But I'm almost glad that the season went as bad as it did last year because we wouldn't have been able to get Wills. We wouldn't have been able to get Stefanski. So it's a blessing. It's a blessing in disguise almost. They were, and that's the number one thing with Stefanski. There's discipline, there's structure, there's organization. Yeah, well, and then another thing. I almost said Greg Williams. Greg Robinson was beyond terrible. He was horrible. He's terrible. Then he's getting arrested at the border for weed. It amazes me though that he thought he would be able to get that across the border. When Trump's president, ain't nothing getting over the border unless it comes in, the legal way. And obviously, you weren't going to get that across. And that's the thing. Why would you throw away your millions of dollars for, it's so stupid. When you get paid stupid money, you make stupid decisions because money doesn't become anything to you. And it's not that money should control your life because it shouldn't. But the problem with money is if you get too little of it, you become almost too money cautious. And then throughout, I'm talking like I'm 80 years old, but throughout your life, then you don't take chances on something, or you don't, I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, if you don't have enough money, then you'll always try to save. And if you always make too much, then you'll never, you won't know how to I don't know, control. I don't know. But it is what it is. But yeah, great. And that's another thing is Chris Hubbard. Chris Hubbard was, he wasn't great last year, but he did his job. And I think he's done a fine, decent job now. Who'd the Giants take number 17? Who'd they take with our draft pick? Do you remember? Let me look that up. All right, so Sir Yacht. Sir Yacht is saying that the Cowboys are now interested in trading for Jameis Winston or Jacoby Brissett. It doesn't surprise me if that is true. What was I doing? I was looking up 2019 NFL draft. NFL draft. Okay. Dexter Lawrence. That's who it was. I thought it was. I like Dexter Lawrence. He hasn't been that great, but I do like him. Can you imagine if Sir Yacht is correct? It's going to be insane. Um, all right, so I'm now seeing this from the same one who talked about Thielen. Said, as I said on Twitter about an hour ago, a league source close to the situation tells me that the Browns and the Vikings have had trade talks centered around wide receiver Adam Thielen. There's a tweet saying that the deal is close. This is not true. Again, all I have been told is that the two teams have talked today. Kevin Stefanski connection. Watch the name. That is certainly interesting. But you know what the saddest thing would be? The saddest thing would be is if the Browns go out and they trade for Adam Thielen, and not only does it work, but it's like they have a great connection. That would really suck for OBJ. Because it's like, you know, Higgins will see the field. My worry is Peoples Jones. So I think they need to slowly start implementing more of Peoples Jones. Could get him to develop more and more and more. I've always loved Donovan coming out of college. Well, that's not true. I didn't love him. I actually hated him because as a Buckeye fan, he was like the only one that I was ever afraid of, with the ball in his hands. So, oh geez, two guys in a podcast. Well, nice to talk to you guys again. Haven't felt like I haven't talked to you guys in a while. Hey, I will say this about Michigan. Congratulations, you finally got yourself a quarterback. Kid Wilson, I assume you talking about DPJ? Looks like Cam. I don't know if you could say he looks like Cam, but he's certainly he's a heck of a player. And now I know Minnesota was a little banged up, but hey, Michigan. Siri, what the heck? Sitting here talking and Siri popped up like I ain't talking to you. Anyway. Yeah, Michigan's not going to beat Ohio State. Ohio State's too stacked across the board for Michigan to win. But that doesn't mean that they're not they couldn't have some success. Yeah, that's the thing. Ohio State's just too good across the board for Michigan to hang with them. And that sounds very cocky to say, but it's not. I mean, go look at the recruiting classes. 5 stars across the board. DPJ, I can't wait to see what he turns out to be. That's why DPJ, I can't wait to see what he becomes because his raw talent, you know, best receiver in Browns history. Is that what you're saying DPJ can be? I don't know about all that, but to me, I don't know. I've never heard anybody say this, but I've always thought this. Donovan Peoples Jones looks like, to me, he's built like Julio Jones. He is. Kid Wilson, hey, good job on the live podcast. Gonna run some errands. Hey, thanks for stopping by. Always enjoy your videos, even though we've argued on Baker a few times. I don't know if you'd say argued, more just discussion, but keep up the good work. Saw him in high school. Dude, he's insane. Like, there's a reason. Like, Urban Meyer said something about before the draft, like he's a number one talent. And a lot of people are like, oh, what do you mean? He is. I mean, he's got all the physical traits. I mean, he's big. He's got good enough speed. Now, he's not as good at NFL speed, but he's got a unique athleticism to where he can always find the ball. Like Shea Patterson, he would always have to come, the balls were always behind, they were always too high, too low, and he would always have to go get that ball, in spots to where it was it was a tough catch, and he did it. So I can't wait to see his future. He's probably the most excited I am for a future of a Browns player because I think the potential he has, and with Chad O'Shea and then Jarvis and even what Odell's been talking with him, you get these guys who are long-term veterans in the league and continue to develop. He does have a bright future. And you know what I like about him? He was inactive for the first couple games, and that could have been very, very frustrating for him. Exactly. Steal in the 6th round. Believe it or not, I was really contemplating saying, if he's there, probably not 3rd round, but about 4th round, if he's there, because I thought he was going to get picked a lot higher, I'd consider taking him. But his attitude, I mean, he's very down to earth. I'm just here to work. And the coaches see that. I mean, you can hear when Kevin Stefanski, was talking about him, he was saying he's Mr. Reliable. You can line him up wherever and you can count on him to do his job. And a lot of people were saying that might be a shot at Beckham. I don't think so. I think that was just an endorsement of how great Donovan is. I mean, I seriously, I can't wait for his future. I can't. So I think, I don't know if he's still in the chat. Probably not. But Tom, I used to work with, we used to talk about, but way before the draft, guys who, we could take in the draft that might slip, who we could have long term. And me and him both were saying Donovan Peoples Jones is a guy that we would both love. And then he slips to the 6th. It's unbelievable. And for people to say that just because where you picked, like, oh, he's not good. He was a 6th round pick. He was a this, he was that. People always love to say, well, Brady, was picked, what, 6th round, whatever. Not everybody's that. That's a once in a lifetime situation there. But that does not mean that you can't get really good players late. He's no Kenny Golladay. Yeah, exactly. I don't know if he'll develop into a number one in 2 years, but he's a guy who I could see them, um, you know, where he just kind of earns more and more playing time. You know, he's got 4 years on his rookie deal. I think, right? Is a sixth round pick 4 years? I believe so. Yeah, that's the thing is that was his first time ever getting a ball thrown his way Sunday. And he had 3 catches. 2 of them were big time catch. Well, actually all 3 of them were. The one pass from Jarvis was a big time catch on the sideline. The pass where Baker had his leg grab and he just, gets it to him. That was a big time catch. And then the game winner to end the game, that is, I mean, that's the thing. That's why I'm saying Beckham doesn't work in Cleveland, because you have guys like Peoples Jones who comes in and instant connection. It isn't forced. It's natural. It comes, So I can't wait. I cannot wait. And honestly, I'm really contemplating getting a jersey of his now, but I don't know if he'll change his number or not. So, but he was definitely a steal, because with a guy who's got the physical traits that he does and the ability that he does, the potential, the upside, there is no there's nothing wrong about um there's nothing wrong about getting picked or picking a guy like that where yeah, exactly. Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, and that's what I'm saying. To me, he's got the physical build of a Julio Jones. So I'm not saying he's gonna be Julio Jones, but I'm not seeing anything from Suriat quite yet. Keep in mind, just because it's Suriat, that I'm not telling you that you needs to be a little thicker. Yeah, I think he just needs to build on muscle. Come in a few years. It'll be interesting to see how they use him, though. And he was the one player that I was extremely nervous about with the roster cuts, because this offense doesn't need a ton of receivers, and with him being a 6th round pick, if he didn't really get a ton of chances in camp, and that was one where I was like, if they cut him, they're letting an unbelievable talent slip to someone, and anybody who's needs a receiver just sitting there. So I don't know. It's insane. It's insane. 2 guys in a podcast. If you're still on, do you think the Lions will keep Stafford for a while? Because I think that's a potential situation. I like Stafford. I think if he was, I hate to say this, but if he was on any other team, throughout his career, the Lions have just been one of these teams that, they're always in a rebuild, it seems like. But I certainly think he is he's probably the most underrated quarterback in the league. Yeah, Patricia will probably be fired after this year. That's the thing, though. How many head coaches are there? Because you got to think Eric Bieniemy is going to get a job, and he's not going to get a job just because everybody's saying we need more black coaches. That's fine. Great. Sure. Awesome. That's fine. But Eric Bieniemy is not going to get hired just because, he's a minority coach. He's going to get hired because he's a great, great coach. Like he look what he's done. You can say it's Andy Reid, that's fine, but he's just been fantastic with Patrick Mahomes, you know, but he's not. They're not. That he's out the door. But I just don't know. Atlanta needs to hire Morris. Yeah, I don't know. Wonder where Bill O'Brien's gonna go. Think he gets another chance? It's just going to be an interesting year for coaching hires. Oops. Well, no, Hunter, Bill O'Brien, he's not going to get hired as a GM. He'll get hired. I mean, he was a playoff coach, so he'll get another chance as a coach. He's not going to get another chance as a GM. I'm not seeing anything new update wise. Yeah, that was a good move getting Everson Griffin. He was a guy who, if I was GM in Cleveland, I would have made the for a 6th round pick. I mean, it doesn't hurt. I do agree that was a good move. I like that. It's not like it's going to be a game changing player, but he's going to be a guy that comes in and gives you immediate impact. All right, once we hit 3 hours here, I think I'm going to get off. It's getting late and I'm hungry. I'm thirsty. I'm tired. And I want to argue with people over Twitter about these trades. So, if there is if there does trades happen tomorrow, I think I might be doing another live stream here. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how soon these deals, like I told you guys earlier, I don't with the whole virus stuff going on, trades are going to get made anytime from now between probably Sunday at latest Monday. I don't expect anything Tuesday. Number one, because it's election day and that's going to be crazy. And then number two, because you got to have time to get the physical in. So take care. Good luck to the Browns. Steelers. Steelers going to win the Super Bowl. I hate to say it, but they're the most complete team. So thanks for stopping by. Appreciate that. Good luck to the Lions. Hopefully you guys can figure it out. KC. Yeah, I mean, the AFC I think is really, I would say the Titans, but I think it's down to KC, Baltimore, and the Steelers. Pittsburgh plays the Ravens next. So shut up, Siri. CIA is tapping into my phone apparently. Siri keeps going off. But anyway, so and honestly, I'm not saying you want the Steelers to win the Super Bowl, but I do think Ben would retire. So if there's any positive to that, that's probably it. And plus they gotta pay TJ. So that's gonna be an interesting situation to keep an eye on. That would be a crazy game. Pittsburgh and KC AFC Championship. What do you think for the NFC? You think the Bucks can do it? Packers, Seahawks. I don't know if the Bucks can. Maybe with AB now and everybody healthy. See, I don't believe in the Saints. I don't. I've believed in the Saints for the last like 3 years now, and it's been the same thing over and over. I just don't think the Saints are going to get it. And I don't trust Breeze. I don't think Breeze has nearly the same arm. You can't win a Super Bowl doing 5-yard passes. So I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Seattle should be a very big buyer at the deadline on defensive players because they're going to make a Super Bowl run now. I don't know. It does suck though that there is a good chance that somebody from the AFC North is going to be in the AFC Championship game, potentially in the Super Bowl. And we're just going to have to watch it. Well, the entire 49er line tore ACLs, which is insane. That's like all in the same week. Tennessee is the wide open. It is. Tell you what, though, DK Metcalf might be a top. I don't know top what. Probably a top 10 receiver right now. Telling you, that's the one thing I regret most about that Beckham trade is we could have sat there and taken DK Metcalf, and I think there's a chance we would have. Every play with DK Metcalf is crazy. He's unbelievable, and I like AJ Brown too, but I just think DK is just he's next level, and AJ's great too, but yeah, I don't know. DK, sir, I think there's gonna be a point in his career where DK. I mean, you're a Lions fan. I think there's a chance that he could be the next Calvin Johnson. That similar style of play. And I'm seeing my Twitter blowing up and my phone's over here. Let's see if this is anything noteworthy. Nope. Yeah. All right. Well, we're just about to hit 3 hours. So, thank you all for coming on and talking about Sir Yacht, I guess you could say. It's pretty much all we did here. So all right, now the interesting question here is when I end this stream, is YouTube just going to upload it? Or what's going to happen here? Because a 3-hour live stream is going to take all night to upload. So, will it go to auto? I don't know. We'll see. All right. Anyway, I think I'm going to end this. So, like I said, thank you guys for coming on. And then tomorrow, like I said, if chaos goes down, I might just be right back here. So if that happens, I'll see you tomorrow. So thanks for watching. Bye.